Game on, everybody! The in-house league is kicking off, and well, we have of course to explain what exactly is happening here. But first of all, you're looking at a best of 5, which is pretty much played at the top level in Europe. So, as you guys already know, we had lately quite a couple of in-house matches, and what happens there is pretty much that the top players came together in Europe and said, listen, matchmaking in Heroes is shit, was shit, will always be shit, and it is just incredibly frustrating to play a Storm League. So, what can we do instead? Well, let's just band together, create our own little setup, and play games against each other, have a ranking there and everything else, do just what Blizzard apparently is incapable of doing, and that's what they've been doing so far for quite a long time. Obviously, that's kind of fun, and we had a couple of games that were really enjoyable, but now they actually took it a step further, and what we have is a small league tournament, you can say, where we have 2 groups. In total it's 6 teams, and we have actually a captain that was voted, so there were 6 captains voted out of the player pool. Everybody of the players chipped in a little bit of prize money for all of this, and the captains then drafted the team, their team, out of the player pool, and that's the teams that we have. So we have Team Zaelia going up against Team Hasu right now, and therefore the captains, Zaelia and Hasu ops. We have Quadnix with the team, Maka with the team, Lauer with the team, and Nick with the team as well. So those are the 6 teams, and we're now going through those group stages where we'll see who is going to be able to take it. So it's actually kind of fun, especially since the drafting found some teams with multiple support players, other all of a sudden didn't have a support anymore, so someone will have to play in the off role, which from the get-go was pretty much clear. So this is the first one of those best of 5s that we're actually looking at right now, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So Infernal Shrines, our first map, we have the immediate bans on Zul, we have Zarya banned out, we have also ETC and Ana taken care of right away. Banana Age is playing on Hasu's team. So as you can see, Hasu actually has quite a few supports on his part. They have X-Ray and they have Banana Age here, so that's pretty awesome. And it should be pretty fun to see which captain walks away here with the better team, which team locks in the victory in the league itself. Again, first of all, it's a group stage. 2 groups, well, a group stage with 2 groups with 3 teams, and then we're heading after that with ranking into a little bit more of a tournament format, but more to that later. For now, first picks, we have Tyrael actually locked in on Infernal Shrines here for the Sanctification. On the other hand, Reyna and Malfurion are getting picked, so Zaelia immediately dropping the Malfurion pick, which she in the past, of course, used to sometimes demolish complete teams. These days, we see on the European side a lot of tranquility, but especially since you can still play with Twilight Dream, and Zaelia is insane with that. Had some Twilight Dreams that just destroyed entire setups. That's something that we could see here too. Rhaegar for the Lightning Shield on the map. Greymane, of course. Very good when you have Tyrael to enable him with a shield to also jump on the spot and have the Sanctification on. So there's a lot of aggression that we are seeing now from Hasu's team. We have Deathwing banned out. A bit late so far. Nobody really wanted to jump onto or like into picking Deathwing here, but there's still a couple of heroes, especially on the mage side, that could be picks. I mean, we haven't really seen Jaina, for example, make an appearance yet, and she has really good wave clear, of course, too, thanks to the Blizzard and the Cone of Cold, everything that she adds there. We've seen a lot more Sonya lately, so she gets now banned out too. But for game number 1, it's going to set the pace a little bit, because this is the first time that we're seeing these teams actually in action. We have, of course, seen the players, but we don't know how they are actually playing against each other. And the cool thing is, since every player actually chipped in a little bit of money into the prize pool, and some others also contributed to it, there is quite a little bit of money on the line right now. And all of the players are, of course, even more so invested, because they put down some money too. And there were scrims, like teams were all of a sudden starting to scrim again, trying to just make sure that everybody's communicating correctly, finding out who's going to play which role. So it's actually kind of cool. Now, with the next few picks here, we have Leo taken and also Garrosh. The Leo pick in particular is kind of interesting, because Leo has made it to a spot where oftentimes you see him on Infernal Shrines banned in the first rotation. In this case, he is actually let through, and the blue team locks him in for all that wave clear that he provides, the damage mitigation that he has. And there's the German tanks again. Hasu with Hammer, and Max Passion is playing Rexa. Okay, this is shaping up to be a nice one already. Rexa, of course, and Tyrael need to keep Hammer a bit safe, but with good positioning, Hasu should have real good control over those shrines. now that we have the final pick coming through for Team Zaelia. Question is still, what's the second damage dealer? And it is Maiev, very heavily at the front. Siege tactic is going to be really important for Hasu, and that sets the stage for game number 1 in this best of 5. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. Infernal Shrines is our first map in this series. Let's go, everybody! Map number 1, Team Zaelia against Team Hasu. On the left side, Zaelia himself on Malfurion, enabler for the blue team on Jimmy. We have Sven on Leoric, Rutsu on Maiev, and Masquerade on Garrosh. X-Ray on Tyrael, we have Max Passion on Rexa, Banana H on Rhaegar, Ultralisk on Greymane, and Hasu Ops on Sergeant Hammer. And as we're jumping in, also one more thing that I should probably go over real quickly before we're heading fully into this. The teams have actually different names, so I am going to display the names and I'm going to commentate this entire tournament with the team named after their captain, after the guy who drafted the team. But every single team gave itself a name, and the problem with that is that some of those teams are literally sentences. Like, one of the teams is called Remember Corona is Still a Beer. And we have Bratwurst and something else for Hasu's team. And at the end of the day, there's a couple of problems with it. First of all, it doesn't fit on the scoreboard. That's point number 1. The second problem is that oftentimes it doesn't really tell you who's playing on the team. And it's really difficult to remember who's on which team and identify with that in any way. And since this tournament is going to be pretty short and it's not going to be something that, you know, lasts for multiple months, I actually decided to just name them after the captain. That's a little bit more... It's a little bit more grippable, it's like easier to remember, and it will resonate with people a bit more when they are trying to figure out, okay, which team is currently doing well in this league, who's on their team, and such and such. But if you're following any of the players on streams, or if you, for example, see a bracket at some point, you might be a little bit confused just looking at the coverage over here. But I think, generally speaking, it will be much easier for the viewers to go through a lot. Speaking of viewers, if you watch this currently on YouTube, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy the continued Heroes of the Storm coverage here. Would be very much appreciated. And with that, we're jumping into the game itself. So at this point, 0 kills, of course. There's a bit of an attempt at the bot lane to get the additional camp. One was already taken on the side of the blue team. Jimmy has gone into Exterminator here. This is level 1 choice. So in this case, even with all the slows that are provided, no ace in the hole, Enabler decided that it's more about trying to lock the objective down. And, well, this talent has pretty much taken over. I mean, we still see ace in the hole quite a bit, and there's a lot of maps where it's still the priority talent, but there are tons and tons of maps now where Exterminator all of a sudden adds so much value after Blizzard nerfed in the ace in the hole and buffed Exterminator that it's pretty difficult to pass up on it. Now, the red team, Team Hasu, is already working on the Shaman camp towards the top right and is currently trying to set that all up in motion. Up at the top, Sven currently moving out of this. As you can see, the siege tactics are in. That's going to be highly important for Hasu Ops throughout the entire game, honestly, since he has a lot of heroes against him that could potentially lock him down here. And he needs level 7. I mean, it's really crucial for the red team that Hasu gets his level 7 for the hovering siege mode. To an extent where I could honestly see them just simply letting the first Punisher go and not even fighting too much for it. I guess they were going to try and poke a little bit, but Hasu has to be incredibly careful. If he doesn't have the mobility that he really needs here, it's going to make it very difficult to actually push into a good position for the Shrine and establish themselves there. So we'll see how this is going to work out for them. Top side, that's where Leo is currently trying to deal with that camp, trying to take the Shaman down as quickly as he can to empower their own setup. And yeah, Sven is already moving back down to the bottom of the map. The fight has started. Teams are closing on level 7 slowly, but not quickly enough for Hasu Ops to wait it out. We need to try and get at least a couple of those points. Misha is down, 17 stacks against 15. Hasu still playing it tight, gets flipped in, could get away here. Tyrael is also dead, and Hasu falls. That's a double kill for Team Zaelia. Nicely done, and early level 7 is their reward. And they can now rotate towards the top with a few heroes as well, maybe. Leo is already making his play, whereas Rexa needed, of course, to attempt to try and take all of this down before the wall falls. At the bottom of the map, we're now seeing the aggression as the attempt for Garrosh to flank in from the side is at least scouted out. But there's the flip regardless. X-Ray needs to jump out, and does. Has to be careful of the tether of Rutsu, of course. But here's the jump. Wall is already about to get destroyed. They're diving in deep at this point. But Masquerade is starting to get low, so they actually need to escape from this position. Okay, so far, so good. Shots are being fired again down here, yeah. I think Ultralisk on this Grey Min, already looking for a kill. Can't find it, doesn't commit yet. But with now level 7 ready, Hasu and his boys are gonna have a bit more of a bit of a better position on the next shrine, at least you would assume so. The off lane, our 2 solo laners are still doing their thing. Sven is already sitting tight, Max Passion is sitting there as well. Down to the bottom of the map. Off we go. There's the rotation slowly coming through. And let's see what they can actually pull off of that. In the mid lane, seems like we're going to have a bigger brawl. At least if Zaelia can lock something down. Of course, with all the spider mines lying around there, it's going to be a bit tricky to get into that spot. Yeah, Masquerade still sitting tight. And, well, let's check that out. Top lane is getting a bit more attacked here since Greymane was now moving in. And always Greymane on a structure, it just chunks it down. So if you have 2 heroes against Leo all of a sudden and you know that there is no flank coming because you have still vision on the other players, you can do a lot of work there and just use that numeric advantage. Level 10 abilities in early. And with that, of course, they could force a fight. And they're committing. They're committing topside. They're trying to make the play for the 4th tier. Now, well, that's at least Team Hasu. The reason is simply they knew that at the bottom of the map, the blue team was trying to push for 4th. So they're trying to go for a trade. Since they can't really defend, since they don't have level 10, they go for the trade. They take the 4th at the top lane. That was honestly a great decision there of Team Hasu. It was really well done. It grants them level 10. They didn't lose anything in structures. Well, they obviously lost the 4th, but they didn't lose in the sense they're not behind on structures on the map. They went for an even trade on it. Still without a kill in this game. But I can see if they can maybe get a bit more with that. Yeah, all already. Starting to jump in here. What else are we gonna get? Topside, Ultralisk in the middle and his boys. Over here, X-Ray is starting to move in now too. And, well, let's see. There's the bullet. They're trying to go for Garrosh. Can't get the kill. Tranquility, but the BFG. Hasu is ready and he has the aim as well. Comes in, doesn't blink. Malfurion dies, and that's 2 kills. Nice and easy for Team Hasu as they're getting the hits in. Nicely done. Yeah, well played. They went from 0 kills to 2 within just 1 short fight. The shrine is now activating in the middle of the map as well. But they're already attempting to push the wall even before all of that happens. So far, so good. And let's check it out. Top right. That's where we already see a camp taken. On the top left, same thing. Bloodlust, by the way. The ult on level 10 for Rhaegar. So no Ancestral for him. More Bloodlust action in this game. Yeah, that's going to be interesting for Greymane and for Hasu on his hammer. This is going to be a great tool to not only have themselves a little sustainability, but more so, of course, be hyper-aggressive during that fight. Was used in the last battle as well. Now that we're fighting over the next objective and Punisher number 2, it's going to be interesting to see who walks away with it. The situation is pretty much identical, 17 to 16. I mean, they're trading points on this one. Shrine gets attacked again. Masquerade, give it the flip, and nice! What an ult again by Hasu. Aiming down the shrine, hitting 3 with it, and then Rhaegar and Greymane move in to secure the kill against Garrosh. 31 stacks against 25 now, but the blue team is actually pushing aggressively onto the shrine, trying to hold the position here, attempting to still get the objective. Lightning shield, good value. Maiev in trouble, jumps out. Sven also low, and he dies. Leo eliminated, and the Punisher taken by Team Hasu. Momentum has shifted right here. Great play. Nice ults as well. Tyrael providing the shields, providing the sank just when the shit started to hit the fan. Now Maiev nearly dying to the Punisher. There's a flip again as Masquerade is attempting to at least get a kill, but so far it's just not happening. Greymane is pushing out the bot lane, but there can't be really any doubt that the mid lane is going to take a bit of a beating. It's not going to fall, and at least it's unlikely. Yeah, Punisher's down, but the wall has been eliminated. And now they have an early level 13 talent, Hasu's boys. So, with that in mind, we have topside, still Max Passion sitting here as well. And down to the bottom of the map, another camp is about to be taken too. But Team Zaelia has actually done the same thing. So they have actually taken one of their own camps. They are not really too far behind in experience, meaning they are still on the same talent here. But of course, things are starting to become a little bit more tricky. Now that they fall behind in kills, they need to somehow get the Sergeant Hammer in these fights. Right now, Hasu Ops has a 31,000 damage, 18,000 on Jim Reina's side. Yeah. Let's see how this is gonna work out in the next battle here. It's of course also still a bit of an interesting setup that just in general that we have over here. It's a bit more of a hammer protection setup now, with X-Ray just sitting tight. I mean, X-Ray again, he's playing the off-roll. We talked about this during the draft. Banana Age, so with the double support setup. They could actually play some mean double support setups on other maps. But in this case, X-Ray moved onto the frontliner. I kind of find it funny still that we have actual Bloodlust as a talent in this game. Rutsu up at the top, trying to get the flank against Max Passion on his Rexa. That didn't happen. Misha was also sniffing it out quite quickly, so that's not a problem at all. And, well, let's have a look over here. Top side, yes, there we go. Max Passion starting to rotate down since the middle is all of a sudden under attack. Good use of the siege tactics here to counteract Maiev as she was coming in. The ult on Rexa on the other hand, trying to lock Jimmy down. He's a bit isolated, but nobody is there to come in from the flank and lock him down cold. The problem is that soon the next shrine is going to be announced. This time we're talking about top lane, and there's now multiple disadvantages for the blue team. First of all, there's an entire fort, wall, and fountain over here that can be used by Team Hasu once that the shrine is activated. The next problem comes into play when you look at experience. We nearly have level 16 now for Team Hasu, and chances are that Team Zaelia is starting... there's a good chance that Team Zaelia is not on 16 when the shrine spawns. They will get it during the shrine phase, but it could lead to a small advantage for Hasu's team as teams are starting to engage into the objective. And that's kind of what I'm expecting at this point now. So, yeah. They might just be able to grab it, honestly. Half a level might just work out for them. I mean, it is clutch, don't get me wrong, but it seems like it might just work out here. Jimmy's still sitting at the bottom of the map, so he needs to rotate. But yeah, they're gonna get their 16. Okay, pretty good. That would have been a real dangerous position if that one didn't pan out. So off we go. Attack is already there. Hasops is starting to siege up slowly. Yeah, and here comes the flip. They're starting to move in so far. There's the Entomb. Ah, nice. The immediate Bloodlust afterwards. Bloodlust comes in, and now they're, of course, trying to carry this a little bit harder. Ultralisk in particular, as he's sitting on Greymane, is going to look to get the setup here and get the kill. But the red team has started to take a pretty significant lead on the points now. Sitting at 16. Blue team is starting to move in. Zaelia, of course, knows that his boys need to get a little bit more aggressive if they really want to control the spot here and make that happen. But Hasu is still playing with the range. Sergeant Hammer gets hit in after hit after hit. 4 kills against 2. Where's the next setup? BFG comes in. Not enough damage. Tranquility is saving most of it. Sanctification is on the ground, though. And Leo with the damage mitigation the entire time. Might actually fall here. Sven is down. He's the first one to fall. And Rutsu and his boys, they're trying to get the double kill. Hasu and Greymane both eliminated. Maiev dies too, but this fight isn't over yet. 3 versus 3. 4 if you count Misha, and you always should. But the Arcane Punisher gets taken by the red team. And now that the fight is actually centering in a top still, they are trying to keep them here. The problem is that Sven is going to respawn in just another second, and he could ruin the day, especially since he has Entomb up too. So if he gets a good Entomb here, they might even force that fight. Punisher is completely ignored. No Entomb though, they just get away from Leo in time. But down here, the Punisher is already starting to do some serious damage to the wall. Should now be an easier defense, of course, that the entire team can move in and help out, so don't even have to be afraid of anybody following up on damage. There's just like nothing that can really be done here, so that's not going to be a problem anytime soon. But yeah, they take this down, and with that, rotation down to the bottom of the map. So all in all, not really a lot that the red team got out of this, if we're honest about it. They won the objective, so they prevented the opponent's team from grabbing it and pushing with it. But it's not like they really did a lot of damage with it. So yes, the wall has fallen, it exposes the top keep slightly. There's not really a whole lot that happened here. So Hasu and his team, they're still slightly ahead, but it's only by the smallest of margins in experience. And we have 6 kills against 4 now. So I would still call that a bit of a win for Zaelia's team, if I'm completely honest with you. Let's have a quick look at what's happening over here. Well, only 2 heroes that haven't died yet. Rhaegar and Jimmy. Jimmy with 35,000 damage by now. And we also have Hasu on 51. Yeah, there's the setup against X-Ray. Needs to be careful. X-Ray in a little bit of trouble, but is able to get out on his Tyrael. Not really a big consequence here. Greyman, on the other hand, comes in as Hasu uses the BFG again. And that's a kill against Garrosh. 5 versus 4, and they get the 4-2. They siege up on it with Sergeant Hammer. Really nice setup and a good kill now. And they are rotating already down to the bottom of the map to try and rinse and repeat at this point. Yeah, Greyman is the one who falls back to the waves, trying to make sure that they're pushing this out as quickly as possible, so that the minions are going to support this push as well. But Hasu alone can already get a couple of hits in, and they're starting to rotate towards the mid lane again. So 7 kills against 4. Very likely still we're going to see 20 versus 20 on the next objective. But the situation is starting to become a little bit more dire for Zaelia's team, simply because they are starting to run out of the outer defenses here. They only have 1 fort standing. It's not going to play a big role for the next objective though, since we have the next shrine spawning in the middle of the map. So that's that. Level 20 talents is of course something that both teams want right now, and it's going to be a game changer, especially for Zaelia's team, since Buried Alive is one of the best, if not the... I mean, it's a massive game changer for any team fight that you could possibly see. So I expect that if a good one hits, it might lead to a very, very quick kill with this setup. But as it stands, level 20 talents are ready on the red team side first. That gives us the Gladiator's Warshout, a holy arena with the kill command. And now the shrine is starting to be announced. So there's a little bit of a delayed cap over on the red team side, trying to, of course, play a bit more around the cooldown. Banana Age is the one that he gets, so that's going to help here. Rexa is still sitting a little bit longer up at the top and probably thinking about maybe pushing out another wave, but everybody is moving towards the middle in order to set this up and go for the fight. I mean, this is going to be a really important one. So now we're seeing the Punisher scale into the late game. Hasu is still sitting at the bottom a bit. Already has to use the pushback. The fight itself is attacked up at the top though. And off we go. X-Ray also sitting tight. Ultralisk is starting to move in. Slight lead for the blue team this time. And here we go. Sven with the damage reduction as he comes in with the Royal Focus again. There's the immediate setup with a Bloodlust, and they go for the kill. Hasu lining them up. Oh my god, seriously. It's like shooting clay pigeons. It's insane. He comes in, lines them up, gets 4 connects. They get the kill against Leo. They're trying for Zaelia, and they drop him too. Zaelia down. That's the double kill. And they're getting even more. The Entomb was already used earlier, but the Buried Alive didn't do anything for them. Came also after Ancestral was already used, and now we're looking at 11 kills against 4. They're already moving down here, trying to sniff out Masquerade. He's the only survivor of that bloodbath that we just witnessed. And this is likely going to be the end of at least a keep, if not more. Punisher's moving through the middle, and even before the Punisher arrives, they already have worked down the entire wall. So that is brutal. There's the jump, there's the kill, and Leo gets wrecked, respawned, and immediately dead again. Trade value activated, baby. And this is most likely the last nail into the coffin of Team Zaelia in game number 1 of this best of 5 series at the Inhouse League. Yep, Core gets attacked, and there's just nothing to do here anymore. By the way, up at the top, even the keep gets attacked now, as you can see here. Not that it matters. This is the lead. 1-0 for Team Hasu as they lock in the W on Infernal Shrines against Team Zaelia. Game on! Map number 2, ladies. Let's go! Team Hasu is in the lead as we're heading into map number 2, Battlefield of Eternity. Yeah, fun one so far. And again, since the question actually popped up a little bit between games, yes, the teams will stay the same, obviously. This is the in-house league, not simply in-house matches. There's a bit of a difference there. So for the purpose of this small league, the small tournament, the teams will stay consistent. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a second iteration of all of this, maybe even a third one afterwards. And for that, I assume that we will see different teams, maybe different captains will be voted in. And then, of course, once again, we will see a draw. And here we go, Battlefield of Eternity. And what's the first thing that happens? Yeah, well, you only give the Germans their Panzers once. No, don't give the Germans the tanks. We all know what's happening then. So, at this point, Zaelia gets banned out. I would assume that we are still going to see a ban against Anna. Well, actually, I mean, Anna is a hero that I still would expect is going to be banned out. Zula, of course, too. But on the Anna side, you could, in theory, actually decide that you're not going to ban her and instead just target something else. It's Battlefield of Eternity after all, and there's a lot of heroes that excel here. I would be shocked if Jimmy wouldn't make an appearance in one shape, form, or another in this game. And then you could theoretically see Vala with an arrow build. Li Ming. Good pick here. Greymane, of course, too. A couple others. And there's the Tyrael ban. Yeah, Anna is up. Anna is actually up at this point. Okay, so let's have a look. On the left side, Team Zaelia. First pick. What are we gonna get? It's Li Ming. Yes, Rutsu on Li Ming. Definitely an Anna pick now for Team Hasu. What is getting picked with Anna, though? That's the bigger question. At least I would be very surprised if we don't see Anna. Maybe Reyna plus Anna. That could be one variation that they might look into. We've seen Hasu's team in the past play a lot of Jimmy. And Jimmy absolutely reigns supreme here now with his level 1 talent. There's Jimmy and there's Anna as expected. Okay. There's obviously a few other things that they could have done too. It's not the only play, but it was the most obvious one. Now, there's still a few heroes up. When it comes to the damage against the Immortal, the one thing that you immediately want to also think about is that you need... The blue team needs a Greymane, they need a Vala with an arrow build, something like this. Li Ming is already great for the continuous poke during the standoff that she can throw out, but you want to have a bit more, and that's exactly what we're seeing now. So Vala is played again. We have also, well, for the first time in this series, but we have Malfurion played again. Zaelia once more on one of his favorite heroes here. So supports are locked in. We are still missing tanks on both sides. Since the red team actually has a double pick now, they could theoretically ban a tank and try and limit the options of Team Zaelia even more by then also picking their own tank just in the next rotation. Offlaners are also still missing. And the ban goes to Garrosh. So yeah, tank ban, no flip into Malfurion roots or anything like that. Then again, what is Team Zaelia going to eliminate? Very likely it's not going to be a tank. Much more likely that they're actually going to jump in and either ban a damage dealer or they are banning the offlane out. Depending what their Noidu is the most here. Let's go. Battlefield of Eternity. Last ban on the map, it's Chromie. The fake dragon is eliminated. No sandwich in this game. And with that, they're still needing the front line here. And I honestly want to see what X-Ray is going to play. Is he going to play the tank again? Is he for the entirety of the tournament going to play the tank position? Or are they eventually also trying to maybe play a double support or something else where he can move more into another hero that he's more comfortable with? Yeah, but there's the ETC, so X-Ray and ETC, Max Passion on Blaze, that leaves us with Ultralisk for the last pick, who, by the way, is obviously also a Medivh player, so not necessarily something that we have to highlight in this game in particular, but for the duration of the tournament, I think it is a pretty interesting setup, since he can always Medivh it up. That means that with Hasu and Ultralisk, you have all of a sudden 2 players on the team that would be pretty solid with Medivh, and that can really help you if you have that flexibility in the draft to just shift that over. Pick on the left side though, this time Sven. He loves his Sonya. That's one of the reasons why the hero was banned out in game number 1. And game number 2, he finally gets it. Masquerade with a Nubarak. It's a very aggressive setup here. I mean, honestly, at this point I just want to have a Nubarak with a burrow charge and Sonya jumping in with a leap. I doubt a bit that we're going to get that. but would be kind of fun. Ah, and here comes the last pick. So let's check that out, and it's Alarak. Alarak as the last hero for Team Hasu. They are in the lead. This is the best of 5. Battlefield of Eternity is the second map. Let's jump in. Map number 2 in the best of 5 series here at the In-House League, ladies and gentlemen. Game on, everybody! Zaelia pausing the game, but that should not really stop us from at least introducing the players here. In game number 2 of this best of 5, on the left side, Zaelia on Malfurion. For the second time, chose as expected, and I talked about this at the beginning of game number 1, chose Tranquility on Infernal Shrines. This time, maybe a different play from him, but of course still playing the support role here. Enabler on Vala, we have Sven on Sonya, and this is actually something that I kind of touched upon in the last draft, but I want to highlight it again. Sonya is one of Sven's favorite heroes, and you will see a lot of Sonya bans against them very likely, even if it's only sometimes in the 3rd position. We have Rutsu on Liming, Masquerader on Uborak, and then on the right side of the map, Team Hasu playing this with X-Ray on ETC. Hasops is the one that's going to play Jimmy here, obviously with Exterminator as the level 1 talent choice. We have Ultralisk on Alarak. Max Passion is playing Blaze, and Banana H is playing Ana. Yeah, Banana on Ana, because Bananas Ana is Bananas. So, now that we have our offlaners moving towards the top, we have actually in the middle of the map still ETC, Alarak and Jimmy, apparently looking to see if there's maybe a chance that they need to rotate onto the other side. But not so much. Exterminator's in. And it is game time, baby! Yeah, Sonya versus Alarak top. Everybody else is moving now. Sorry, Sonya versus Blaze top. And Alarak is now moving to the 4-man at the bottom of the map, trying to play this out here. But there we go. Hits already keep coming. Rutsu is starting to fire off. Yeah, Hasu is sitting tight now too. And it's just poke. Poke, 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 poke. Greyman hasn't been picked, so that's actually kind of interesting. Another hero that could have been taken, as I said. Vala is a very good choice, since her arrow build is locking the Immortal down very easily with the Monster Hunter. Serious damage, especially after completed level 4 quest, which usually happens around Immortal number 3, roughly. So that's when that is going to play off the most. Up at the top, we still have our 1 versus 1 setup here, with Sven even now rotating down, apparently trying to help the team out in the team fight. They don't even need that help. Instead, they're making the play for X-Ray, who is sliding out though, so Sonya can move back towards the top. But it was a very quick rotation, so if there would have been a prolonged fight at the bottom over the camp, we would have seen Sonya have an impact, which now is needed, but it also means that at the top side, there's another camp up for grabs, which is likely going to go over to the blue team, because the red team needs to keep some resources at the bottom of the map to defend against the camp here. Apparently, there was no info to Max Passion, so he seems to be caught off guard a little bit, and that's a kill. Yeah, not enough info, and Max Passion, I mean, he can run, but he can't hide, and that's him dead. Alarak at least completes his level 1, so there's that, but oh boy. That's a good start for Team Zaelia again. Now, at the same time, of course, we saw a similar start in game number 1, and that backfired quickly in one of the later game fights after I think level 10 happened. So we'll see how this is going to work out here. Right now, we got the camps attacked. As you would expect, level 4 talents are in. Triumvirate on level 4 for Liming. No real surprise here. We still have the stack for Vala. Level 4 about to be hit by Team Hasu. And now they are still sitting up at the top. So, let's go. Alarak also, now with a negatively charged. They actually have to defend the the bottom lane a little bit for now. The Immortals are spawning though. It is Immortal time, baby. And yep, there's the flip. Alright. And kill against the Shamans. That's already a decent defense. Yeah, and Jimmy now can actually just let the damage rain onto the Immortal. Does pretty well with that, and starts to race it down extremely quickly. And guys, this was a 4 versus 5 on the Immortal race, because Blaze was topside pushing the waves out, and this is a bit of a dire situation now for Team Zaelia. They need to be very careful with this. Jimmy is all the way on the right, and this is a very, very bad spot for Zaelia and this boys there, because they are attacked up at the top with this, so they have to deal with it. At the same time, they also need to go for the Immortal. They need something slide, and Hasu just has the firepower to get the shields low. They might not win it, but they should get some value out of it. Top, on the other hand, the towers took the Shaman down. That's great. And Zaelia's team also wins the Immortal. Much better solved than I expected. Now, they were assisted, of course, by the top towers homing in on the Shaman and taking it down. The wall took some damage. Hasu alone was not able to take take the Immortal apart at the same time. The 4-man defense wasn't strong enough to hold it on the left. So, good job by Team Zaelia. That went a little bit smoother than I expected. On the other hand, Masquerade is in trouble and barely makes it out. Hasu is still shelling away against the Immortal, and up to this point at least, it was a pretty solid defense. I mean, they have trouble breaking through the wall, honestly. Ultralisk comes in, has 5 stacks by now in the negatively charged. And this looks like an incredibly solid defense here. Oh, it does it. Max Passion comes in. Yeah, the Buck gets stunned out. On the other hand, they make the play now for Sonya, who also rotated. And Sven is in trouble. Can they get a kill? Yeah, they don't go too deep here. Need to be careful that you don't get turned on. But the fort actually falls. I am impressed. This did not look like it would be a very successful push with the Immortal in the first place. It was a very, very small shield, and they were heavily pressured as they were pushing in. But now they have an early level 7. They took the fort down, and that was them really maximizing what they could have gotten out of this topside push. So, great job by them. Very, very well done. Didn't even lose a hero, and it looked for a few seconds as if at least one of them would die, but no, not so much. We now have the Battle Rage on level 7. Also after Under King. The Subterranean Shield. Yeah, 1 kill against 0 doesn't really give you too much of a lead, but the fort at the top, that's gonna be, as the game continues, more of a big deal. And off we go. There it is, the setup against Masquerade. Can he get out? Alarak! And not enough. Alrighty, Ultralisk is sitting there right away. Okay, what else are we gonna get? I mean, for now, Alarak is coming up top again. Has 11 stacks, by the way. Oh, there it is. I think that one was overdue. The kill against the Nubarak finally is in. They worked for this quite a lot, actually. But now we have also 93 sadism over here. Okay, so he's actually getting slowly but steadily the stacks added up. Talking stacks, we have also 12 now on his level 4. So Alex's damage is going to continue throughout this game if he can avoid falling. And Mortal's up again, and of course Hasu is immediately on the spot. It's level 9 versus level 9. Doesn't really seem like anybody is going to get a level 10 advantage as all of this is coming off. Blaze is defending the top side again against the waves, but the red team lost the halftime show. So Zaelia's team could actually walk away with the second Immortal here. It's this time an aggressive setup again, whereas Jimmy, when you need him, moves over to the fence, and this isn't looking too pretty. Team Zaelia is doing incredibly well right now. Off we go, and oh boy, that's an Immortal. That's an Immortal. Can they get a kill? Hasu boys need a kill, and they can't get it. So that's a big shield this time for Team Zaelia compared to the first Immortal, and will likely cost Team Hasu a fort at the bottom of the map, especially with level 10 that is now coming in soon. TM. Damage output as level 10 comes in. Alarak top damage for his team by a mile, by the way. I mean, he's he's pretty much doubling anybody else's damage, and is nearly top damage in the game too. We have 17,000 for Li Ming right now. We got in some nice connects, and honestly, Ultralisk doesn't really have this many stacks yet. I mean, he's currently sitting at 14 stacks on his level 4. He's sitting at 93 on his sadism. Once that he gets those up a little bit higher, you can imagine how much of an impact he can have in the late game. At this point, if you look over to Malfurion, he has actually gone into the Twilight Dream. I've been talking about this earlier. The slide, the cocoon immediately being used. Enabler got disabled very quickly. Sonya wasn't here for that push. So now that we have a level 10 ready for Team Hasu, here we go. Yeah, they won't lose the key, but they lost the wall. And topside, Sonya is pushing this even more, which means that this wall has taken some damage as well. So yeah, nicely done. Yeah, 1 kills against 2. Camp's also up, about to be taken again. 16 stacks now for Alarak. I mean, he's getting there. He's going to get the damage increase. And over here, still Rutsu and his boys. They took the forts down. I mean, again, at the end of the day, what did we see now happen? The kills went to Team Hasu, no doubt about it. But you look at the minimap and you quickly realize that there's no outer ring of defense anymore for Team Hasu. They took damage on the bottom keep, and the top keep is exposed as well, since fort and parts of the wall have already been destroyed. So that pretty much means if you lose another Immortal, the chances are that you are losing your first keep. So Hasu and his boys, they really need to make something happen. Now, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. The one saving grace is that Vala, for example, is doing pretty poorly on stacking. Only 4 stacks so far for them. And that doesn't really mean that you can't get those stacks a bit later, especially after you hit your level 7. You, of course, have the potential to just get a double arrow connected very quickly in a fight and add 2 more stacks in. But when we're heading into Immortal number 3, it doesn't give Vala quite the pressure that you oftentimes want there. Immortal number 3, depending on the game, you can actually already talk about a completed quest on level 4. So this is not the case here. But the question is more so, can Hasu and his team, can they actually get an Immortal for themselves? Because they definitely have the pressure through Reyna, but they also need to either win the team fight beforehand or at least set up a defense that is good enough to slow the onslaught of Zaelia's team down just by a little bit. And that hasn't really happened yet. Okay, so there we go. Immortals are being locked in again. Blaze is up at the top. Alarak is defending the bottom of the map a bit, since catapults are pushing in against it now too. Some initial damage from Zaelia's team against the Immortal, but everybody seems to be willing to just like sit tight for now, especially since Sonya has rotated topside and makes a move against the Shaman camp. So everybody's just defending those. Jimmy has also moved down through the bottom of the map. Is trying to get even a little bit more. I mean, their goal is going to get level 13, obviously. They're still behind in talents by just the smallest of margins. But now that they nearly have 13, it will be an even talent fight. But that's the main reason why they didn't really want to go for a battle here. Yeah, over here. There we go. Our 13 talents are now in. Still Hasu can look for the aggression against the Immortal. Try and get a couple of hits connected at least. Goes into giddy up. And everybody's just sitting in the middle of the map, trying to wait for an opportunity. Like this one, for example. Going for Sven, locked down, a little bit of a kill setup, but instead it's ETC who just falls apart. A nice turn by Zaelia's team to the frontliner of Team Hasu, and that is another kill secured, and very likely a third Immortal dance. Oh my god, the stun into the Immortal stun. Perfect. And Nubarak gets murdered. Halftime show was lost by the red team, but now there's another kill. 2 kills for Team Hasu, and that might just win them the Immortal. Jimmy needs to go on the point. They need to also somehow zone Rutsu out on this Liming. Jimmy is now working on it. Yeah, he's working that booty over there. But there are still a couple of heroes available. Ultralisk is sitting at the side. Ultralisk! Okay. They sniff him out, but they can't make a play yet. By now, 112 sadism for him. Jimmy is still trying to win the Immortal, and honestly, at this point, they should. But we have all 5 back on the map. 5 versus 5 again. Jimmy is doing his thing topside. They are in the lead right now. They're going to lock this in. The question is, are they going to lose maybe a hero even here? Yeah, there comes the setup, and Ubarak dives out. There's the cocoon. Hasu wins the Immortal for this team, but do they lose ETC? The lockdown is ready. Banana H is in trouble and is dead. Ana down. Li Ming with a reset value. And here we go. 1 kill. Can they kill Ultralisk? They indeed can, and that is the sadism reset back to 90. 20 stacks on the negatively charged, but with all that pressure down at the bottom of the map, Team Zaelia has now smelled blood in the water and is looking to take the keep down. Immortal or no Immortal, it doesn't mean anything right now. Sven has taken to the defense, and the rest team is super aggressive with the Ubarak, who spawns the beetle to soak the keep shots. And, well, that's the keep destroyed. They win the Immortal, but they lose their keep. Well played by Team Zaelia. Hasu and his boys, unfortunately for them, not getting anything out of this. I mean, they probably won't even get their 4th here, if we're honest. Still, Alarak top damage for the red team. Hasu ops with 22,000, mainly, of course, focused on the Immortal so far. 37,000 for Li Ming by now, also heavily ahead compared to anybody else on this team in terms of damage. Up at the top side now. That's our little setup against another camp, so they're at least trying to catch up in experience. We don't have an Immortal announced yet, but half a level is missing for Hasu to get his level 16 talent and for his team. Yeah, well, it's pretty different game from game number 1. Let's be honest here. Right now we're also looking at Manticore on level 16. So even more single target damage from Vala. Again, the same target. We have Epicenter and a Mirror Ball, the 2 talents taken. Plus more sustainability for Sonya. It's starting to become really tricky. I mean, yeah, nice engage. Was trying to hit the cocoon, but was outside of range. Yeah, if he hits the cocoon there and gets the setup, then they could maybe get another kill. But, yep, it is quite unfortunate right now. So, let's see. What do we get? Especially, what I want to see is how much Vala can impact the next fight. Since right now we're looking at level 10. 10 stacks on her level 4. And over here towards the right side, 5 kills against 4. In kills, I mean, it's really a weird game because you look at kills, you look at levels, and it's not really that big of a difference, right? And then you glimpse on the minimap, and it's just insane because Keep and Ford were lost on the bot lane, Ford at the top lane for the red team, and they haven't taken down a single one yet. They nearly destroyed the one bot side, but not quite. So it's really interesting. The objective is just dominated so heavily by the blue team that it's very tricky for Hasu and his boys to get anything done here. Now Jimmy is the one dealing with the shamans down at the bottom of the map now. And he should be. I mean, he's the one with Exterminator now. Catapult is now moving in too, but it's only 1 and we are 15 minutes in, so it's not really that big of a deal just yet. But, I mean, again, since the Immortal spawn scares in the late game, if Zaelia and his boys are locking in another objective, then it could very well be lights out. If you fall behind and lose another keep here, then it's just pretty much over. So everybody is starting to jump in. Let's go and let's have it. There's the attack and oh, X-Ray. Yeah, he's getting out. Okay, X-Ray was getting out. But let's have a look. Cocoon was used. Yeah, we have also the bunker, of course. And what else are we getting? There's a slide. Okay, they're isolating. And Sven actually survives. Gets a 16 through, survives. Nano boosted Alarak, but they are in the choke point. Vala with a strafe, the double kill against ETC, the kill against Jimmy, the turnaround against Malfurion though, so at least they got this one. 23 stacks for now on Alarak. The Sadism has spiked back up to 113. They're still trying to make the play here. It's a 3 versus 4, but they're looking for the engage. Alarak is sitting at the side, gets engaged upon by Nubarak. The combo of Liming misses though, so that's good. And the halftime show has been reached. Again, this could be the last fight in this game, or the last big one. If the Immortal Shield is big enough, and currently it seems that's what's going to happen here, then it might just be the end of this game. It's starting to jump in again. Vala just doesn't give a shit. Arrow after arrow. Can they get the kill? Enabler. Enabler. Does he get disabled again? Ana is dead. Jesus, like they don't get any break, do they? Ana down, they can't get the kill against Vala. Instead, Ultralisk is on the run again, uses the bunker, but they are just looking here like sitting ducks. It's like shooting fish in a barrel at this point, honestly. Down goes Alarak, that's a reset on the Sadism again, and now they're moving through the top, and I mean, I've even more bad news for you. Catapults on the core have already reduced the shield amount by a little bit. One of them is still YOLOing into the middle. Fantastic map, that was never fixed. That has been a problem for years now. But here we have it. That's 9 kills against 5, nearly level 20. It's looking pretty bleak for Hazops and his team. They get Ana back, but Alarak is still down for another 15 seconds, and the keep is already gone, and that Immortal still has 50% shields. I mean, this looks pretty much like a tie in the series now. So everybody is starting to go back on X-Ray, and he barely gets out. The cocoon hits him a moment delay, but just look at that core. The core is falling, and it's falling quickly. There's a mosh pit attempt, but this is game. This is the tie in the series as Team Zaelia locks in a W on Battlefield of Eternity. Nicely done, GG. Well played. Game number 3 in the best of 5. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yeah, series is tight. Let's see who's gonna take the lead. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our third map. Yeah, it should be kind of fun here. Another small map that we actually have now between the two teams here. And yeah, it should be a good one. The last game, honestly, was a little bit stumpy. I mean, Zaelia and his boys, they definitely woke up. I don't know what happened if game number 1 was just like the start, but they played way better than on the first map. And they dominated pretty much every single one of the fights that we've seen in the middle. And didn't lose a single... No, they actually lost one Immortal, and it didn't even matter, because even though they lost the Immortal, they still got a keep out of it. Yeah, which was pretty crazy. But as it stands, let's see what they can pull off this time. Zarya gets banned out again, so that's very likely not going to change throughout this entire series. Ever since we saw the Division S playoffs in Europe, Zarya has been an absolute staple and has dominated in a lot of the drafts and the plays that we've seen. Now, we have still a ban against Zul for now. Another thing that I don't see changing until we get the next, up to the point where we get the next patch. But, well, let's go. When it comes to the rest of the bans, though, I mean, there's a couple of heroes that we still have to watch out for. I mean, first of all, as already mentioned before, there's still the possibility that Ana gets banned out. She gets banned out a lot, especially against Banana H. That's the case. There's always the question, is Deathwing making an appearance here? The hero has definitely started to fall off slightly. Other heroes have taken priority, especially after Zul got buffed pretty critically. So Johanna is picked this time first. X-Ray locks her in. That's one of the best tanks when it comes to wave clear. Zaelia is still holding true to Malfurion and hasn't really changed that in any way. We're looking at Enabler on Junkrat. Okay, a lot of insane poke against anybody that is trying to turn in already. So you have grenades that can just simply interrupt the turn in on the turn-in points here. You have Malfurion with the Moonfire. Broccoli, if picked. So that's another one. And in come Greymane and Draga. Okay, so the Wolf Pact is in the house. Even more wave clear. That's great for camp clear. If you want to go for the Bruiser camp, that's fantastic. If you're going to go Siege Giants, if you just push lanes out, if you have to deal with the Web Weavers, Hammer gets banned. Another one of those better saves than sorry bans. Trying to ban out heroes that the opponent's team is really good at, or good with. So with that now, what are we going for? Last ban in the game, can still ban out the frontline, for example. Offlane is still open, which means that Leo, Blaze are still up. 2 good picks. Rex are oftentimes picked on this map too. Sonya gets banned again. I mean, that's already highlighted in the draft in map number 2 that we'll most likely see way more Sonya bans against Sven in the future on the 3rd position in particular. And after the performance in game number 2, they banned Sonya out again. So, yeah. Now, with that said, the double pick, I'm kind of curious to see what the front line is going to look like now. Because what do you play into Johanna right now? And the answer is ETC. Sylvanas together with it. Sylvanas is always a really interesting character to have in a draft because she's a bit of a game changer when it comes to pushing. If you can get an objective or a camp and you are able to take a few heroes of the opponent down before all of that hits, that's your ideal scenario, because then Sylvanas can just come in, disable everything, and you are just off to the races trying to take these structures down as quickly as you can. And we've seen some incredible Sylvanas performances also just when it comes to actual damage against heroes. So that could be nice now. Yeah, Hasu again on Reyna. And Leo is picked on the side of Team Hasu. I said it before. Leo super strong here. Who's going to play against that? With Blaze, you would actually add a lot to the lineup here and also help ETC out. You would have an additional stun. As I previously said. There's a lot of characters that we could actually see in a rotation. Urel. Okay. Urel also not bad. Definitely very disruptive too. And that brings us into game number 3. Let's see which team takes the lead here. The in-house league continues, ladies and gentlemen. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our 3rd map. Game number 3, ladies. Let's go. On the left side, in blue, Zaelia's team. Once again, this time with him on Malfurion. Shocking, I know, but playing the hero for the 3rd time in a row now, and for good reason, of course. We have Enabler on Junkrat, Masquerade on ETC, Rutsu on Sylvanas. And in addition to that, we currently have Sven on Urel. On the right side, on the other hand, Team Hasu with Hasu Ops. On Reyna, we currently have Banana H on Rhaegar, Max Passion on Leoric, Ultralisk on Greymane, and X-Ray is playing Johanna in this 3rd game. Which team is gonna take the lead? That's something we're gonna find out right now. At this point, as you can already tell, we have Exterminator once more as the level 1 choice for Jimmy. That hasn't changed. Great, of course, also against the boss on the map, against the camps and web weavers. Level 1 for Sylvanas, the Might of the Banshee Queen. Okay. And for now, what else? Over here, Viciousness on Rhaegar. Yeah, Dogi has always been pretty vicious. But the rotation between the 4-man is what, of course, is going to dominate here in the early stages. Have the 4-man rotate between the mid and the top, getting the wave clear in, especially on the side of Johanna. That's not going to be a problem. But a nice setup here already against Greymane. Really nicely done by Junkrat, pushing him back into the fight. Now they saved him, so there's at least that. But that could have backfired quite a bit. So decent job here. And with that, the attacks still keep coming. As we have the X-ray also pretty low. A pretty good start actually for Team Zaelia. They already show their teeth here and start to take a bit of a bite out of Team Hasu. We didn't see a kill yet, but they definitely make that rotation as tricky as they possibly can. Greymane, I don't really know. He might have been in vision, but I don't think so. So he's sneaking down to the Siege Giant camp, trying to take it. Very soon we should actually see Urel check. Because I would imagine that they're already calling out that someone's missing here. But as you can tell, on the left side, the blue team has decided that it will go for their own bruiser camp. So they're already getting that set up, which will allow Ultralisk to get the camp up down at the bottom. Yeah, the attack here in the middle, maybe a bit of extra pressure against Urel. That would help for sure, especially Leo to hold the lane for longer. Camp is now also taken on the right side, so the red team reacted immediately after getting the info that they need to go for that. But with the help of their own towers, they will now defend this. But the problem, of course, is that there's Sylvanas in the mix, and this camp has actually already started to hit the wall. So far, so good. Yep, and let's go. Right now, the attempt to make the play right here. Maybe get a first tower destroyed? Not quite. So they can push out of the camp now a bit as well. If they defeat the minion wave, it shouldn't really be a problem for them at all. They're gonna be able to set this up very, very quickly. We still have 0 kills in this game. There's also not a single gem that has been turned in. So that's another thing. I mean, both of the teams are holding a fair amount, but nobody has enough to get the complete turn in yet. Nobody is trying to get rid of the gems that they're holding. It's all the play for level 7 now. Here, a bit more of a fight with the attempt to go for ETC. Masquerade doesn't have the power slide, but doesn't need it in this case. Nearly another good grenade there from Junkrat, but everybody on mine. But everybody is jumping out now too. Yeah, it's a good setup. I mean, seriously, both of the teams have good interrupts. We have the flashlight, we have the cocktail. Masquerade is now trying to turn in, and the team is actually trying to block for him also quite nicely. So that is very, very likely to be the first turn for them. Yeah, 15 on both sides now. So far, so good. And what else are we going to get over here? Another turn in by Sven. That would already mean a lot if they can lock that in. That would actually be really great if Sven can make that happen. Yeah, but he gets interrupted there. So both of the team, I mean, again, it's just always guarding the turning point, right? So that's the pretty much the most important thing right now. X-Ray is also rotating away. We have now enough gems for both teams to get their turning completed in the first web weaver wave. Seems like Leo is going to suffer down here. Sylvanas jumps in and wants to get the kill, but she doesn't. Down to the bottom, there's the turn in from Sven now, and he actually delivers everything. Up at the top, they're trying to do the exact same thing and maybe even get the kill against Junkrat, which is denied. X-Ray with the turn in attempt. That one didn't work out. But it's actually clutch. I mean, for the first turn in, this is pretty close. Level 7 on both sides gives us Divine Steed. Also, the cleanse is, of course, ready for Rhaegar. And still everybody is sitting tight with Urel at the bottoms. Falling... Max Passion actually missing the drain. Okay, I was just about to say, like, falling a bit victim to Diablo's abilities, but after the slow, the drain didn't connect, so Sven is still totally safe here. And totally fine, didn't lose too much. But a nice root against X-Ray. And that could be the turn-in. That could be it. Nah, Jimmy comes in. Last second, though. Last second interrupt. But that one was close. That one was really close. And in the second attempt, they are able to finally get it through. So Team Zaelia with the first objective. A little bit reminiscent, actually, of Battlefield of Eternity, where they dominated of the objective. But, well, let's see what else they can actually pull off of this. Because right now, the big question in the setup is, can Sylvanas empower the push to an extent that we are actually going to see a fort fall? Normally with the first Webweaver wave, doesn't really happen. It's usually not really a thing. But if you have a Sylvanas push, that can definitely change the dynamic of it quite quickly. The main question in the setup then remains is, can you get a kill with it? Because even with Sylvanas, you kind of need at least that. But they are getting some damage in towards the top. Hasu actually was the one trying to defend here, and he did so far a fairly decent job, taking the Webweaver out despite Enabler pushing with it. But the middle of the map, that's a different story. With only a few defenders being in place, that's actually the first fort. They get it after all. They are able to grab it. Nicely done without level 10 abilities, but there's the attempt at the fight, and Ultralisk is already going for Sylvanas. The problem is that Malfurion is about to fall. He dies. That's literally first blood in this game. And Team Hasu grabs the first kill, but they lose the fort in the process, and the Webweaver has actually traveled farther over to the right side and has now also started to take down the first tower. So that was a pretty successful first objective for Team Zaelia. They might have lost a hero, but I take that trade for all the structures that they just demolished. So yeah, well done, really well done. Yeah, and with this, we have, again, level 10 abilities on both sides. And oh boy, after the YOLO attempt in game number 1, they're going for a similar setup in game number 2. I mean, just look at that beauty. We have, first of all, I mean, not that guy. We have, first of all, Rhaegar with Bloodlust again, and Johanna with Falling Sword. Okay. We're getting a little bit aggressive in this game. I like it. Yeah, there's the hit. Okay. Get a few more in over here. Trying to get the quick kill. Not yet. Down to the bottom of the map. Urel might also be under pressure, especially since the Siege Giant camp is, of course, starting to knock at the wall. The gems are still there, by the way, for Team Hasu. That's the good thing for them. That they still have all the gems. Yes! The Reckoning! Nice! The Entomb into the Falling Sword. They nearly got a follow-up kill against Sylvanas after they take Malfurion down. Instead, they are aiming for Sven. Divine Steed brings him back to safety. Or does it? Oh, I guess it does, but was still pretty close and pretty clutch. Okay. Everybody else is now jumping towards the top here as well. And gets the turn-in. Nice. Turn-in is in. The attack on the left drops Junkrat. The rat is down, and so is Sylvanas. Now, Rhaegar paid with his life for this, but this is still a pretty successful push, or at least it should be. Because now that you're playing a 4 versus 3 on the map, you should be able to push the top and the mid lane out quite significantly. In the middle, that's of course a different picture, because the camp that was taken previously by Team Zaelia pushed it so far back that the Webweavers are not going to accomplish a lot here. But I would have still expected, at least at the top lane, a bit more value. And I think that's what we're going to see now in just a moment. Down at the bottom of the map, the defense is already in play. But this should yield them a fort. And they still have a lot of gems. I mean, it's 4 kills against 1. They are on level 13 now. And here comes the push power. Up through the top right now. Yeah, next hit is coming. Alright, and the fort is down. Fort is gone, so there's still a couple of remaining seconds on the Webweaver in the middle of the map. And they're actually trying to use it to at least, I guess, take the fountain down. So that would already be nice if they can make that work too. And here we go. A little bit more damage down here. Alright, Sven. Careful, baby. And there's the jump. Bringing him back to safety. But that's 2 forts down now for the blue team. So Team Zaelia, after the initial great opening into this game, is now starting to do a little bit worse against their opponent. Now, I feel one of the things that I actually have to point out is that we currently have the second time in a row, not in a row, the second time in the series, Bloodlust taken. And if they actually win, then Bloodlust has a 100% win rate in this series. Then the deciding factor between, or one of the deciding factors between Team Hasu winning or losing is the question is, do they have Bloodlust? Yes or no? So for that alone, it would already be worth seeing them win this one. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet by any means. Team Zaelia is now looking for another turn in. Both of the teams have enough gems easily to turn in. There it is, the attack against Zaelia, and pretty much the entire setup. Honestly, Twilight Dream, and he survives! The fucker survives! And that's the end of Johanna, and now they're losing gems. The entire strategy of Team Hasu just seems to be screw Zaelia. Just go in and take him down. And guys, they just lost, I think, 40 gems in total. Hasu was trying to recover a few, and I think he got one, which is enough to grant them a turn in, but those 2 kills were a disaster for Team Hasu. An absolute disaster. Team Zaelia just took so many gems away from them. It will be difficult to make up for that. And this is only the 4-man at the bottom, or whereas up to the top, Enabler is pushing. And yeah, this is all starting to hurt a lot. Blue Web Weavers, the turn-in has been completed. The fight down here, it will have to be abandoned by Team Hasu. They have to move away from this. Oh my god, honestly, if that wasn't a penetrating round that stopped ETC there, Masquerade would have gotten the power slide, and that would have probably taken 2 heroes down. At least. So yeah, now we have 4 versus 4, half a level until 16. They're really close to it. And this is the bottom fort will have... I mean, this is Siege Giants pushing with it. So it's not only the Web Weavers, it's the Siege Giants too. And they're taking, of course, this fort out without even trying. The main question is, what else can they get out of this? Top fort, Greymane is defending, rest of the team is already there, so I don't think that they have a chance. Blue team, that is. But at the bottom of the map, they might be able to go for the keep itself. They are about to have a level 16 talent advantage. Don't forget about that. Yeah, Sven was actually moving into the middle to try and get the experience there, but they don't really have to. Down here, Web Weavers are still there. Get some damage in. 16 is ready. Okay. Small advantage. Can they force the fight? They try to force it, and the answer is no. They don't want to risk it. They play it safe. They're just saying, like, okay, guys, let's screw it. We got some damage in. But it's a little bit of a disappointing push if you think about it. I mean, they got a couple of kills before it happened. And the only thing that they really did was take down the bottom fort. Now, again, they destroyed also, or took away a lot of the gems that were in the hands of Team Hasu. So that's important. But the red team still has a chance there, and they get the kill as well. So they deny a few gems, a fair amount of gems actually, to the blue team. And in addition to that, they now have their own turn in that they can secure. And they're just going for boss. They're like, fuck it, what are you gonna do? You have max passion. Sven won't be able to make anything happen here. Boss is 100% going to be taken. I mean, especially with Jimmy. Exterminator plus Greymane. Are you kidding me? That boss does blink twice and is dead. Now the move into the middle of the map as they're attempting to take this round. There's the... Okay. Apparently Max Passion has incredibly fat fingers. I mean, if that wasn't a fat finger right there, then I don't know what it was. But there's the turn. I mean, okay, let's be honest. He successfully entombed the camp. He successfully entombed the camp. We should be fair. If that was his goal, then 100%, my friend. 100%. Okay, so. Push to the top, though. Web Weavers are coming in, too. That should be a keep. Hasu and his boys are all of a sudden getting mad momentum in this game. For some time, it looked a bit grim at the beginning, but now they are turning it quickly. They lost a lot of gems in that last encounter, but now they are the first ones to knock on the keep, and there is just pretty much no hope left for Team Zaelia to save this one. Not with the Web Weavers arriving here too. Yeah, that keep is just gonzo. Keep down, the rotation in the middle where Leo is already working on the wall. Let's not forget that there's a third lane at the bottom of the map. We have a very similar picture. Big push against this. Gate might fall. Mid lane, what's gonna go on here though? Azov, okay, Riptire for the defense. Nicely done. Gets a lot of the wave clear through, so the wall is gone, but at least the keep is sitting tight still. Down here at the bottom of the map though, probably a similar result. Parts of the wall will be broken. And then they can make their play. Yeah, off we go. It's a cool series, seriously. I'm really happy because this is the first of the in-house, the first match of the in-house league, and I am very happy that we have such a close match between them. Because you never really know, you know, the teams get drafted, there's like sometimes one guy has 2 supports, has to figure out who plays on an off position. I mean, X-Ray in the past already played tank a couple of times in regular in-house matches, but it's kind of neat to see that the 2 teams are so close to each other in this first series. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 5-mapper. Even if it's a 4-mapper only, it would be kind of fun if they're still continuing to play on the same level here. But now the aggression against Johanna, and that's a power slide. And Jojo's in trouble. Ah, always nice. Has the falling sword this time, and that allows her to jump out. Got the cleanse, of course, too. So Banana, Age, and Rhaegar definitely paying attention. Level 20 is the next milestone for both teams in terms of talents. When it comes to gems, there is a turn-in available for the blue team. They have the chance to get another turn-in for themselves, but they also have catapults now pushing against them. They're still trying to turn over here. X-Ray also delivers everything that he has. It's pretty much just like, guys, just stop holding gems. We need to turn everything that we got here. Sven sitting at the side. 51 gems now. Again, they want to prevent the turn-in, but they're also getting closer and closer to secure another web weaver way for themselves. And they have the early level 20. Let's not forget about that. But the blue team sneaking it in. Nice. Yeah, that top lane is not going to do anything. 3 catapults. Holy moly. Yeah, you need to take those out as quickly as you can. All the lanes are pushed out very, very heavily. Team Hasu has a good position for this now. For the defense, of course. So they're rotating as 5. Bot lane first. There should be an easy defense here. Level 20 talents are in. Careful, Urel. If the Entomb hits you now, then you're toast. And Falling Sword has a cooldown reduction now. Okay. ATC. No into. Oh, and he misses it again. Ah. Unfortunate. The Buried Alive misses ETC. Yeah, that's putting a stop to quite a lot of the threat level that we have here from their perspective. Okay, there's the jump. X-Ray. I mean, gets some cooldown reduction. You're sitting at 7 seconds on that thing. Top 4 should fall. But let's go. Yeah, and Falling Sword is back. Time to shine again. Where's my bunny? There's my bunny. Yeah, down to 15 again. Hey, he's actually zoning out quite heavily with this. It's super annoying if Johanna just keeps jumping around on you. But the fort is still down. You need to get a little bit more. Leo attacked. Leo and the Entomb. Okay, now we're talking. Haha, the kill against Urel. Nice. Leo died too, but still. Entomb, or Buried Alive in this case, into the Falling Sword. Jojo has it again. Another jump and the zone. Malfurion dies. Nicely done here with the Iron Skin also, as Jojo is still alive, but they are chasing them hard right now. Yeah, Malf had to actually jump towards the top, move towards the top as the Falling Sword attempt comes through. There was nothing else that he could do in this situation, and it was a huge problem because it put them directly in the fangs of his opponent. Turn in attempt, X-Ray, careful, Iron Skin is being used, boss is getting attacked, and as I said previously, if you have Greymane and Jimmy, the chances of you not getting the boss quickly are pretty much 0. There is an attempt by ETC with the power slide, the mosh pit, Sylvanas is down, and so is Junkrat. Yeah, and that's ETC dead. Full on 5-man wipe. Hasops is still going for the boss. Guys, this is going to be game. This is game right here. Bloodlust wins it again. Bloodlust and Falling Sword, the tools in the tool belt of Team Hasu. More than enough to secure victory here. They're moving into the middle. Red Web Weavers are descending to in just a few seconds as Johanna turns in. And that is game. The lead for Team Hasu in this best of 5 series. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Nicely done. Great third game in this best of 5. And let's jump straight into map number 4 to see if Team Zaelia can bring it back again or if Team Hasu wins the series in the in-house league. Game number 4, let's go! Team Hasu is in the lead, so it could theoretically be the last map in this series, but Team Zaelia brought it back after losing the first map, and I'm pretty sure that they can actually do it again. At least they have the skills to pull that off. Towers of Doom, of course, now also a very different map compared to what we've seen so far. And yeah, it's comeback time. I mean, if you want to have your 6.5 out of 10 moment, this is the best map to go for it, right? First pick, first ban for the blue team, which means that Team Hasu has actually chosen the map, so they are the ones right now. And, well, let's go for that. What are we getting with it? So, in terms of bans, I would assume that Hammer is likely going to get banned out against Hasu again. Probably not in the first 1-2 ban rotation. Zul is going to be banned out again. Very likely... Well, since his first pick, I think there's still a chance that Anna gets banned out. But Zaelia should also get banned. But as you can actually tell, they're actually really hesitant. Ooh, Hammer, super early ban on her. I expected her to be banned out as a third possibility. But not right now. Okay, so Zaelia as expected. Zul probably going to be banned out by Team Hasu, honestly. Yeah, they banned Rega this time, and now we should see the Zul ban. The first pick team normally doesn't ban the hero that everybody thinks is OP or way overpowered because they want to pick him first, obviously. So they usually let this... Oh, slide for the opponent. Interesting. They're actually hesitating on this. Do we get Zul? Is Zul let through the draft here? No. The quick answer is...
Nope.
Not happening. Okay, so... Deathwing, as he's open, could actually be played on this map. This is not a bad map for him. There's a lot of interrupt potential that Deathwing brings to the table on Towers of Doom. And of course, he's still a quite powerful hero, but he hasn't really played a huge role in the European scene in the after, especially during Division S playoffs and afterwards. But this might be a decent map where he gives you a lot of value outside of him just being strong. Then we have Ana picked away from Banana Age, so we have one support banned out. Ana taken. Malfurion is still up. This time Zaelia doesn't go for the old geezer with the green beard. And what are we going to get from Hasu on his boys right now? Okay. Graham and Malfurion. Yeah, I guess they're a little bit afraid also that more supports are getting banned out later, but Malfurion is still quite powerful for Banana Age. We don't have the heavy focus on tanks that we've seen in previous games. Sonya. Okay. Finally. I mean, again, if you wait for the third ban, right, you know that she's going to get banned out again. So this time they're actually picking her with a higher priority. I bet you eventually we're going to end up in a situation where teams are starting to ban Sonya in the first rotation against Team Zaelia, because when prefers the hero so much and is so strong on the hero that everybody agrees, okay, this is too much of a threat to our draft and through the way that we want to play the game. Let's just ban her out, even though it's not a normal meta ban. I mean, you wouldn't do that against any other team at this point. At least not on this map. I could see it occasionally happen as a third ban against other teams on Infernal Shrines, but the high priority that we have on further pick for Team Zaelia is actually kind of crazy. So... yeah, we have it. Right. ETC got banned, by the way. So there's that. And the last ban. Abatha! No fun! No fun, boys! No fun allowed over here. Okay. Midi, finally. I've been talking about Ultralisk being able to play the hero. And Hasu, of course, being in the position where he would make a fantastic Medivh for the team. And now we finally have Medivh taken. The interesting part is that they could still switch it, but I don't really think that Hasu is eager to jump on Greymane. So very likely he will be the Medivh player for them. But that's now good for rotations. It also gives him a lot of safety. It helps a little bit against setups with Sonya. Mal'Ganis. We have a lot of sleepy action over here. Sleep Dart, Mal'Ganis with the setup. And Zeratul played by Rutsu. Hyper aggressive setup for Team Zaelia now. Okay, very aggressive setup. And good setups also for Li Ming. You get a Sleep Dart through. She can get a combo off. Mal'Ganis sets something up. She can do the same thing. So it's going to be down to Enabler and, yeah, Rutsu. But that is a very aggressive setup that they're running here. Max Passion in again on the off lane for the opponent. Medivh is going to have a lot of stuff to do here. A lot of shields, a lot of portals to save people. And here comes Blaze. So they're playing the more sustainable, safe composition, good rotational, but very beefy as well on the hit point pool and survivability with heroic abilities like the Bunker and also the Taunt from Garrosh there, plus of course Medivh with all of the setups. Game number 4. Let's see if we're heading into a 5th map or if Hasu and his boys are going to seal the deal here on Towers of Doom. Let's jump in without further ado. Game number 4. For just a second, I was like 3, 4. Yeah, it's the 4th game. Towers of Doom is the map on the left side. Sven on Sonya, Zaelia on Ana and Abel on Liming, Rutsu on Zeratul, and Masquerade on Mal'Ganis. On the right side, Team Hasu with Hasu himself on Medivh, Banana H on Malfurion, X-Ray on Garrosh, currently have Max Passion on Blaze, and Ultralisk on Greymane. Yeah, if they take it here, then they are in the lead in their group for the in-house league. And let's go. Portal time. Also, Cleave on level 1 for Zeratul, and yeah, when it comes to builds, we have again the Sleep Dart over here. The Slumber Shells right now. Let's go. What can they actually pull off? Portals are already being set. I mean, again, early game usually... The game starts to become a little bit more spicy when the 1 minute mark has passed and when we have the camps on the map. Traditionally, you won't see a lot of aggression. Normally, every single team just picks their own pumpkin camp and runs with it. And then it comes down to, most of the time, actually even the 2nd or 3rd altar phase before we're seeing real fights happening. The first altar phase, there's one single altar, the one in the middle that is traditionally being fought over. But it's still a bit of a slow-paced fight. Then the second objective spawns an altar top left and top right. Those are usually just exchanged without anybody really making a play. And then when the third one starts with also level 10 abilities in, that's when things are starting to become a lot more spicy. Unless a team is able to get some isolation kills early on and then jumps to take some bell tower very early. But with the slow approach over here, we have the blue team hyper aggressive. Alright, throw someone out and, well, screw playing defensive. Yeah, going for the mad aggression here, and that was actually very well done. So now they break through the wall already a bit. They are gonna look at a slightly inexperienced soon TM2. Nicely played. Team Zaelia going full on YOLO at this point and making it happen. Taking the first tower down, likely gonna get a little bit more damage, and there's the tactical pause from Hasu, the typical 3-2-3 moment right here. It's like, team, get your shit together. Focus. Yeah. Over here, Sven in the middle against Medivh up to the top. Max Passion is currently pretty much alone. But the early setup, definitely a good one now for Team Zaelia. Obviously kidding on the tactical pause, by the way. I would assume that we're going to have some problems on the technical side. I think Hasu in the past had some issues with mouse or headset. I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. But either way, the early game is pretty solid for Team Zaelia now. So they did fairly well with this. And now we have the opportunity to get even a bit more done. Yeah. No. They get the wall. Or the gate, they get one tower and that's it. But level 4 abilities are ready for both. This time we actually see dominance on level 4. First objective should spawn soon. And interesting enough, Team Hasu is still a bit ahead in experience, but yeah, there's not really much lost between the two teams right now. I'm still curious to see what Zeratul can pull off, because so far he's just been moving on the lane, pushing the lanes out. But the aggressive setup is kind of cool, and Team Zaelia is actually trying to be as aggressive as they can with this. Here, by the way, the little setup that I've been mentioning previously. Masquerade. The sleep setups against any hero, and then a follow-up attempt by Liming. And this hasn't really worked out in this particular fight, but it's a big threat. If you are not even isolated in the map, just a bit exposed, and Sleep Dart hits you, or Mal'Ganis moves in, then Enabler always has a great target and can go in for the bullseye shot. Quick rotation towards the top. They were even trying to rotate towards Sven. There's the jet propulsion. There's the lockdown. But they don't have the damage to go for the kill here. Over here, X-Ray will have to let this one slide. Hasu comes in. He needs to be careful too because he is still stacking on his baseline, sitting at 12 now. Ultralisk wants a kill over here. X-Ray. Ooh, he's on the run. They're trying to go for Mal'Ganis instead, but Masquerade is still alive. 4 shots on both sides fired since top left, top right altars were exchanged between the two of them. And over here, nobody really making the play just yet. I mean, a couple of the players are moving back to the fountain to try and re-engage. X-Ray being one of them on his Garrosh, and they might actually be able to zone them out now. Yeah, nobody's going to move in for this. Okay, so the early lead goes to Team Hasu, at least on the objective, as 4 additional shots are fired towards the left side of the map. Utsu is still sitting mid against Max Passion, who's rotating between the lanes, of course. And cams are now again taken. I've seen this before. No, this time they actually get it quicker. Okay, so they're a little bit faster in it and are able to lock it in. There. Masquerade gets locked down. Masquerade, where's the commitment? There it is. Ultralisk jumping in and is able to get the kill. First blood goes to Team Hasu. And they might also be able to break through that wall a little bit. Sonya still sitting at the side here, by the way, but the wall is about to be destroyed. Portals, of course, always a threat. Spear is missing. Good job, Ultralisk. Nice reaction. And the lockdown again. I love actually how well X-Ray and Banana H are currently working together here. Every single time you see the flip, the roots are there instantaneously. And that was already creating, that has created a few dangerous moments for Team Zaelia. So far, not really any kills, but it's at least keeping the opponent on their toes. So, 1 kill against 0. Slight advantage on the objective. And then an advantage in experience by half a level. Yeah, there's the altar spawn in the middle. So, single altar for this one. No level 10. Very likely. Okay, Masquerade again. It's amount of CC. Seriously. Sleep setup, the only thing you need over there is Deck at Kane, and you're pretty much just putting the entire opponent's teep 24/7 into a sleeping frenzy. It's just a coma on that end. Okay, so Altar is coming up, and let's go. Nearly even experience. Blaze is rotating in again. Where's Zeratul? Yeah, moving in here. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Careful, my boy. Yeah, especially since he gets locked in again and gets killed. Ana with a grenade trying to prevent the worst, but nope. It's a kill against Zeratul. And a very well organized kill. I mean, that was an incredible disciplined play here from Team Hasu that leads now to another altar being channeled by them. So they did extremely well here. And that was pretty cool. Everybody played well around Zeratul and his blink points. And X-Ray in particular is actually playing way better here on that Garrosh than I expected him to. I mean, so far I haven't really seen him that much on Garrosh yet. Most of the games when he gets his choice, we've seen him in EDC, we've seen him in Johanna. But so far the plays here have been pretty spectacular. Okay. Leyline is in. Level 10 abilities. Twilight Dream after Leyline would be a dream too. Twilight Dream for the setup against Mal'Ganis works as well. And it's another kill. 3 kills against 0. Yeah. Sonya at the top takes at least something for them. Gets the pumpkin camp. So that's going to help her to break through the wall here. Blaze was thinking about rotating down to the bottom of the map, but has decided against it. Is instead starting to catch the XP again. Camps are back up, so both of the teams immediately move towards the pumpkins to take them. But it is a solid lead for Team Hasu. Nothing game-breaking, nothing insane. They're slightly had an experience. They have taken a few more points off the opponent's core and of course also attacked the bot lane. But it's definitely a really good start for them. 8 points ahead, that's 2 altars in general. But a big question of course is going to be, will someone be able to take bell towers? Is there going to be a bit of a momentum swing? And all that you need for that on all Towers of Doom is honestly just a good team fight. And with Li Ming and reset mechanics, you know you have a good chance of getting that eventually. If you get a few kills in, the rest will follow. But instead, they are the ones who are now again on the run. The flip forward. Greymane wants Zaelia. And they should get the kill. Yes, there it is. Ana down, but Banana Age gets slammed into the ground. That's Sven, but he might die too. Nah, they move away through the portal. Nice exchange on the other hand. But look at this. Fucking Zeratul. Oh yeah. Sonya might have died, but Zeratul steals the ult up at the top. It's like, you boys can brawl all day long. I'm gonna go for the objective now. Now with, of course, one hero down and Ana just now barely being revived, the question is, can they maybe get the channel over here? But normally you don't go for the offensive position on this one. Oh, the kill! Hasu lost his stacks. Okay. 2 kills against 5. Team Hasu might still be ahead, but honestly, that was a bit of a game changer. Hasu being reset at this point. They're getting a kill against Mal'Ganis, but Ana gets the channel. So we are more or less dead even. There's a tiny lead in experience for the red team. But with Hasu losing all of his baseline stacks, that is annoying. More than just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, there's level 13 at least. But we're on 28 points against 28 points. And that level 13 advantage is gone any second now. Yeah, it's spicy. It's back and forth. As were the other 3 games that we had so far. Back and forth all day, every day here. Okay, so. Medivh. The bird in the mid lane. Yeah, Hasu trying to get a few additional stacks together, of course. Has to start it all over again. 9 stacks for Broccoli on the level 4. And they're trying to go maybe even for Sonya. Sonya! Yeah, they can't get her. But they can get the camp, which was the goal in the first place. X-Ray. Oh, X-Ray, the taunt, and he sets the kill up again. Honestly, X-Ray currently is playing out of his mind in this game. The his Garrosh performance throughout this entire game here has been incredible. He prepared so many kills for the team. Now they're trying for a follow-up after they just eliminated Sonya. And I don't think they're going to get this one, but it's 7 kills against 2, so the team fights are definitely ending in their favor. Hasu is back to 5 stacks. That's not really a lot, nothing to write home about, but again, he's out there. 12 stacks for Broccoli, so at least he got a few good roots that we saw, especially as a follow-up on Garrosh's move. That taunt that we saw were pretty good. And they can go for another pumpkin camp. But X-Ray, honestly, like his tank performance, not bad. Not bad at all. Hasn't died yet. Damage output on, by the way, 23,000 for Greymane, 21,000 for Li Ming. Nano boost is something to keep in mind, though. Okay. Top side, let's see. Yeah, Zeratul trying the channel. Zeratul with the channel attempt, and he gets it. It's a freebie. I don't think they realized what was happening. He gets it. They are ahead on the core points. I don't think they realized what was happening there. They didn't see Zeratul on the channel. They were focused on the fight instead, so he gets a sneaky one in. Can they get a kill over here? Doesn't seem like it. Leyline didn't prepare anything either. Okay. Yeah. Nicely done from Zeratul. So it's like, okay guys, why would we brawl here? Let's just channel and then we're good. Next altar is a triple altar phase. Next objective. 7 kills against 2 and they're barely ahead by half a level. Yeah, Zeratul now at the top. Trying to get some free damage in and clear the way. It starts to become a bit tense here. I mean, 16 talents are, of course, a nice advantage. The problem is they're not... Oh, Ana! Li Ming, and... Yes, no, maybe... Yes, they get it. Takes them a bit longer than they probably expected. But that was a really good portal engage from Hasu. Well done. They want to go for Ana instead. No, can't get her. Still the poke. Zeratul is rotating down too. That's 8 kills against 2 now. They need momentum though. And momentum, that would happen if they can take the bottom bell tower. That would be great. Get the bottom bell tower right now. Aggressive play against Masquerade. He's trying to move out. Over here, Zonia is in play. Can they get Greymane maybe on the setup? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, instead, we actually have Ultralist trying to get out here. There's still a few minions to soak the shots, but they have the portal too. Okay. Triple altar is coming up. 16 versus 16 when it spawns. Yeah, down here, X-Ray wants to go for the channel, but Interrupt is already in position. Masquerade is ready for it. Top left, top right. Sonya and Blaze are on the channel. Getting the job done here. There's still a lead. Keep in mind, there's still a lead for Team Zaelia because of the last altar that they simply snuck in. There's the taunt, the bullet, the flip, the stun, the follow-up. Malfurion and Ana is just saving Masquerade. Ana with the healing darts and the grenade saves Masquerade. He gets in, goes in again, and finally dies. The wooden... Sven also a little bit low, and... yeah, maybe they can get the kill there. Doesn't seem like it. 12 stacks only for Medivh, by the way. Rutsu is about to fall. Yes, that's a kill. Nice. Good chase. Very well done by Hasu with the portals. Good follow-up from the rest of them, of course, too. So now we have 2 kills, and they don't even channel. They're not channeling it. They are looking to see if they can maybe grab this one, too. Good sleeping dart to control the portal. Very nice follow-up on it from of Liming. Blaze is sitting at the top. And yeah, they're going for the damage, but it doesn't really seem like they're going to be able to take the entire thing. Enabler is pretty much alone, but X-Ray has already started to channel the bottom of the map. Has actually abandoned it again, as it seems more and more clear that they're going to walk away with the conversion on the bell tower after all. 5 shots fired. Nice. And momentum. 19 against 20 points on the core, so now we're slowly but steadily seeing a momentum swing. Hasu Ops is getting it ready with this team and making it happen here on the bottom of the map as they now escort the pumpkins through and put the pressure straight on the team. Okay, Greymane, by the way, is trying to get another one. Top side, there's also an attempt to put more and more pressure on the bell tower here, so maybe even get a conversion on the other side of the map. Down at the bottom, though. 2-level lead, by the way. That's the big deal here. That's honestly the biggest advantage that they have. The 2-level lead. Alright, starting to move in. And there's the flip again. Nano boost on Mal'Ganis. They're trying to go for the kill. And they at least drop him down to 50%, but they can't just easily take him down here. Blaze against Sonya is still going on top side, so that one-on-one battle hasn't stopped yet. Another pumpkin setup is already moving through the bottom of the map. Yeah, that's quite the powerful one. And here we go. And they get that in. Close. There it is. 2 shots fired. 2 more shots fired. 17 against 20. And they have level 20 abilities in just a moment. And with that, they might get even a bit more. Look at the top side, by the way. Sonya's still fighting this out. And Sonya is just saying, like, screw all of this. I'm going to get that bell tower eventually. Double altar is activated. Or will be. Yeah. Have fun with that rotation. It's a trap. Great kill. Fantastic kill by Team Zaelia. And it's honestly the kill that they need in this situation, because if they don't get it here, then they lose 2 bell towers pretty much for granted. So, yeah. One is, of course, still lost at the bottom of the map. Banana... Oh, is it? Actually, no. Banana Age is interrupted. It's a 4 versus 5. 40 seconds for Blaze to come back. I thought they would at least get one, but no. Twilight Dream also more or less dodged. I mean, still connects with 1-2 heroes. But that's not enough to really change the tides of the battle. Enabler gets a channel at the bottom of the map. Yeah, Sonya is trying to do the same thing in the middle. That's 3 shots fired. Yeah, keep in mind, 3 shots against 3 against 5 shots potentially on every single altar because of the bell tower situation. 15 seconds for Blaze. They need to make sure that they don't lose another hero here. But the red team is still willing to fight a little bit. They still hope that with the portals alone they can make a play. Interrupt, but the 3 shots are through. Yeah, and once again, the blue team ahead. Leyline is nice, but can they get the follow-up for the kill? I don't really think so. Oh, Masquerade, and they actually get it. Nice. Well done. And Blaze is back. Blaze is back, gets the stun. I don't know if they have enough to lock Sven down. They're trying. Good slow. Is it going to be enough for it? Ultralis, can he commit? Can he commit? Yes, and that's the kill. 12 kills against 3. The lead in the series goes to Team Hasu. The question is, can they finish the job and take Team Zaelia down with a 3-1 victory? Yes or no? The bell tower reconverted at the bottom of the map. That's already a big move, but the boss is also taken. That's 4 shots fired, and that will put Team Hasu back in the lead. 13 points against 14. But the bell tower reconversion was actually huge. Now there's no momentum anymore for Hasu and his boys. They can, of course, still take the camps here. They still have a 5 versus 3 on the map right now. So that's definitely helpful. But what you always want to do is try and get those bell towers again. And that's the big question. Can you actually do that? So everybody's moving down to the bottom of the map now in an attempt to reclaim the bell tower. Sonya is back in another 4. Level 20 talents are now ready for both, which gives us also repulsion. Even more playmaker potential for Li Ming. Top left, top right exchange on the bell towers is again likely. Unless, of course, someone can set up a bit of a trap and get a kill here early. Yeah, where we go. Okay, they actually go for the aggressive setup with the portal. Hope to catch someone here, which wasn't the case. Medivh is on 24 stacks. He lost the stacks earlier once, but now he's back on 24. Might never even complete it in this entire game, but he is getting a bit further ahead now. Alright, 4 shots fired for both sides. That puts us to single digits on the side of Team Zaelia. 9 against 10. 51,000 damage on Greymane. 47,000 damage on Li Ming. Mal'Ganis already trying to get away here. Careful, Nature's Cure. There's the bullet after the taunt, and Mal'Ganis gets murdered, and so does Zeratul. Garrosh goes down. He dies for the cause. Li Ming with a nano boost, but Ana is now also dead. The ley line has already been utilized. Enabler, once the kills, he can't get them, but he is able to move out. Sven, on the other hand, he finds himself isolated and likely gonna be the next victim. As the portal comes in, they're trying to block, and Sven is going to fall. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Sven is going to die. The bullet connects, and there's the kill. Well done. That's 4 heroes down, and this could definitely be lights out. At this point, you want to get the momentum. You want to take the bell towers down. Greymane is pushing the top. The rest of the team has already moved into the middle. They know where Enabler is. Repulsion also used, and here comes the pressure play. Garrosh set all of this up. It was a beautiful engage into the fight. They got Mal'Ganis. They isolated him. Garrosh comes in with the quick taunt, the Warlord's challenge. Then we have the bullet follow-up and another fantastic flip from X-Ray. They get the bell tower in the middle. Greymane is busy up at the top, and now they're moving down to the bottom of the map in an attempt to get some damage in here too. Have to retreat though, as they go for the pumpkins instead. Double altar is activating. Top bell tower has taken some damage. Will take more now, but it's not going to fall anytime soon. 5 versus 4 on the map. Sonya dead for another 10 seconds. That might just be enough to get the first bell tower confirmed here. If they get both, they win. If Team Hasu gets both bell towers, then it's over. And Team Zaelia knows it, of course. So they're already coming in. They're already trying to make their play here. Greymane on the move. Greymane again ready. Looking for the bullet. He gets the taunt, the bullet, and the Twilight Dream follow-up. But Mal'Ganis gets out. Barely out, but he gets out. The ley line is there as Medivh is trying to cheat around a little bit. They're trying to go for Enabler again. There's the Calamity. Trying to get the kill, and he pops them like pimples. A 1 down reset mechanic. Greymane, that Malfurion eliminated. And that's a 5 versus 3. And they're going to secure both of the bell towers again. 3 shots fired and another 3 on the way in just a second. Great performance here by Team Zaelia under pressure. They might just be able to pull it off after all. 9 against 7. An insanely clutch game. 37 stacks for Hasu. He's nearly done with his quest. Might make a difference there in the late game. Shots fired, 4 against 9. Boss time, bam, 50 seconds. Everybody is going to be back up on the map. Everybody is going to be back up on the map for the next fight. Be it over the boss or the bell towers. Over here, do they reclaim it or do they just simply push bot lane? Seems like it's the bot lane push that they're opting in for. So they're already starting to make the play right here. And they get it. No problem at all. Big question now, of course. How is Team Hasu going to react? The situation, by the way, now with 5 bell towers against 3, has dramatically shifted. The next altar phase is a single altar on the bottom of the map. If the blue team wins it, it's over. If the red team wins it, nah, not so much. So instead, they seem like they're going to go for the top, trying to get the boss. I mean, do they trap? Do they grab? They're going for it. Greymane is on it. Greymane is in it to win it. Yeah, they're going to try and take it. The team is rotating. I've seen already a little bit of it. Medivh sees it. Okay. They make the play for boss still. It's a bit of a YOLO moment. I mean, they need to remove it as a point of the map. Yeah, it's actually a good decision here of Team Hasu to go for it. So why was this smart? Pretty easy. There's the 4 shots fired. So we have 5 against 4. They needed to do it even though it was risky, because if they don't, then it's an altar at the bottom of the map that can end the game, and it's a boss at the top of the map that can end the game too. So Team Zaelia could have split the attention and just simply moved cross map and got one of them. Where's the Warlord's challenge? Twilight Dream, Warlord's challenge, Hasu, the setup, is it good enough? Is it good enough? No, it's not. Ana down. Medivh completes the quest and then instantly dies afterwards. X-Ray is getting wrecked, but Liming has fall too. 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3 for all the marbles. One team with support, the other one doesn't have one. Oh, they're trying to go for the channel. Max Passion. And Zeratul goes in and nearly dies. Banana Age still with the play attempts here. Ultralisk, Masquerade. They're starting to get a little bit low. They might have to let this one slide. 3 points against 5 on the core. Banana Age still with the support able to heal everybody out. But what a battle right now. What a battle. What a fight. The ley line set up previously and then now all of this. Roots on the ground again as Broccoli joins the fray for Team Hasu. They're trying to fight this out, and the blue team waiting for Ana to be back in the battle here. Ana's going to be back in just a little bit. Here comes Zeratul. Roots open. Banana Age, the kill against Zeratul, but Malfurion falls as well. Sven is low, trying to get out of here. Sven moves back out. Ana is back to business. It's a 4 versus 4. Medivh is back too. Medivh is already flying in. Medivh, the portal. They try to go for the kill, and Greyman gets the shield, turns it, and tries to get Sonya, but Zaelia stops it cold. Medivh trying to cheat again. They're going for Ana. They're trying to go for Ana. The flip, and that should be a taunt. Is it a kill? Yes, it's a double kill. It's a triple, baby. They go and drop Ana, Mal'Ganis, and Sonya, and now they make the play for Li Ming. Reset attempt by Enabler. He tries to go for the quick kill against Max Passion. He can't get it, and that is going to be the end of at least Li Ming. It might be the end of the game. Bam! 5-man wipe. Mid lane. They go heavily for the mid lane right now. They go for the bot lane, guys. This should be game. This should be game right here. Up at the top, Bell Tower low. Over here in the middle, Bell Tower also low. They need to get both. Channel doesn't do it for them. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. They have 5. They have 5. They have 5. That's game. That's game. Team Hasu, they take it with a 3-1 victory over Team Zaelia. GG and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.